Hey guys, entertainment beat reporter Cullen Ronan here, and today I'm joined by my good friend and movie connoisseur, Danny Gonzalez, and we're here to break down the next wave of blockbusters ready to hit the big screen. Now, Danny, we both know that January and February are the slower months, as studios tend to release films they know won't be in Oscar contention, which is why we're going to jump ahead a little bit and look at some of the bigger releases set to grace the big screen in 2018. Now, the first film we're taking a look at here is Red Sparrow. The Francis Lawrence picture is a Russian spy movie where a professional ballerina played by Jennifer Lawrence is recruited to Sparrow School, where she learns to use her body as a weapon. Now, you never truly know what you're going to get with spy movies nowadays, but director Francis Lawrence has had a pretty successful career with his young adult hit series, The Hunger Games. But Danny, are you buying into this new Red Sparrow project?
So, I'll first say not yet, because this is Francis Lawrence, no relation to Jennifer Lawrence. This is their 5th time working together. So I'm a fan of his early work. He did Constantine with Keanu Reeves, which was pretty successful. Then he did I Am Legend with Will Smith. Most people know those. But I'm intrigued, but I'm not really on board yet. Jennifer Lawrence is playing a Russian spy, as you've mentioned. I'm curious to see how she portrays a Russian. The casting choice is a little odd to me, but
I feel like with the repertoire they've had so far, I kind of dig it. I love Jennifer Lawrence in the trailer so far. I know that's only 2 minutes worth of content, but I'm really excited to see it. I know
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence has a soft spot. I've always been a big fan, so I'm really excited to take a look at that.
yeah. Anytime I see Jennifer Lawrence, I think of a little kid playing dress up, trying to be like a big girl in an acting role. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. So next we're going to take a look at Ava DuVernay's big budget book adaptation, A Wrinkle in Time, which coincidentally makes her the first black woman to direct a live action film with a budget of that size. And aside from its astronomical budget, we see Oprah Winfrey, Mindy Kaling, Chris Pine, and Reese Witherspoon having roles in what's slated to be one of Disney's biggest releases of 2018. But come March 9th, with all the money going into this picture and borderline strange casting choices, do you think this movie has potential to be a flop?
Well, I hate to use the word flop because it is Disney, and anything Disney makes is going to be somewhat successful.
It makes its money back.
Because there's an audience for that. But this movie had a production budget of $103 million, and you have to assume that most of that went to the animation. And the trailer came out, and the animation was just not that interesting.
It was
it's
rough.
like you had
Yeah.
one job to do something right, and they didn't do very well. I mean, most of that money probably also went to the casting. Some pretty new faces here for movies. Oprah Winfrey playing alongside Chris Pine, who we assume is the father, and he goes missing in the story for a long period of time. So you have one of your most vetted actors, sitting on, the sidelines. So I'd say this will be a flop, but you never know.
Yeah, it's always interesting with Disney movies. I'm going to see it no matter what. Whether I like it or not, obviously, still up in the air. But we're going to move on to now Tom Hardy. What comes to mind when you hear that name? If you're a normal person, it's plain and simple, the word villain. So nobody should be surprised that he was cast as the lead in the new solo Marvel adaptation of Venom. Well, the trailer dropped last week and received some negative backlash. But with all that aside, do you feel like this movie will live up to the hype that always seems to precede Marvel films?
Yes and no. Venom is an interesting character within itself. It's Eddie Brock. He's a weightlifter. He's a big tough guy, and this will be the first time since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man where a portrayal of Venom was played by Topher Grace, who's kind of like this quirky, thin guy.
Of that 70s show fame,
yes,
skinny,
of that
geeky.
70s show, Eric Foreman played Venom. But now we have Tom Hardy, who has a great personality and it portrays in most of his roles. But Venom isn't really, he's an alien symbiote. So how do you get the personality of someone through when you're an alien? It's hard for that to come across. But this is a Sony production, and I'm not going to trust a Sony movie since they made the Emoji Movie. But Spider-Man: Homecoming, another Sony Marvel adaptation, did really well. So there's a lot of promise, and I'm excited.
And because it falls in that Marvel universe, I feel like people are still going to pile into the box office to see it. So whether it's good or not, it's going to make
Absolutely.
It's going to make its money.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all we got for you guys. So make sure to stay up to date with us on Twitter by following @Q30Entertain, and tune in next time to hear us discuss what's next to grace the big screen. Take care, Quinnipiac.